Welcome to Baby Blue Viper. Most people study wars for glory or tactics. We study them for systems, miscalculation, and what actually survives contact with reality. The Korean War, 1950 to 1953, is one of the most instructive conflicts of the 20th century. Not because it was heroic, but because it was brutally honest. It was a war of illusion meeting reality, of overconfidence crashing into limits, of men who thought they were fighting the last war only to discover they were fighting a new one. Today, we extract the hard lessons. Section 1. The danger of fighting the last war. MacArthur and many in Washington entered Korea with a World War II mindset. Decisive victory, total destruction of the enemy, grand maneuvers. They ignored the new reality on the ground. A completely different terrain, a different enemy doctrine, a different political constraint, limited war. They advanced to the Yalu River expecting collapse. Instead, they triggered one of the largest surprise interventions in modern history. 300,000 Chinese troops crossing the border in freezing conditions. The lesson is brutal and timeless. Your mental model is your greatest vulnerability. If you are still optimized for the previous regime, the next regime shift will destroy you. This applies to trading systems, agent architectures, and platforms. The strategy that worked in the last market regime, the last bull cycle, or the last technological environment can become fatal the moment the regime changes. Section 2. Logistics, intelligence, and the frozen conflict. The Korean War became a stalemate not because either side lacked courage, but because both sides reached the limit of their sustainable projection of power. Key realities emerged. Supply lines mattered more than bravery. Intelligence failures were catastrophic. Once the front stabilized at the 38th parallel, both sides settled into a brutal war of attrition. The war never formally ended. It froze. This is the second hard lesson. Not every conflict is winnable in the way you want. Sometimes the highest form of strategy is recognizing when you have reached a sustainable equilibrium and reinforcing it ruthlessly instead of overextending for total victory. In our world, not every market regime is tradable. Not every agent idea is worth forcing. Not every feature is worth building. Sometimes the correct move is to fortify the line you already hold. Section 3. The real victory condition. The Korean War produced no grand surrender, no parades, no decisive triumph. Yet South Korea went on to become one of the greatest economic miracles in history. North Korea became a cautionary tale. The real victors were not the ones who sought glory in 1950 to 1953. They were the ones who built durable systems afterward. Final Viper lesson. War, markets, and life are not won by the side that dreams biggest. They are won by the side that best understands reality, adapts fastest, and builds systems that can endure long after the initial clash is over. The serpent does not need to conquer the entire mountain in one strike. It needs to survive the winter, hold the high ground it already has, and strike decisively only when the conditions favor it. Study the Korean War not for tactics, but for clarity. Clarity about limits, clarity about regimes, clarity about what actually survives. This has been Baby Blue Viper. Build accordingly. I'll see you on the rails.